This is Jordan Stalworth in World Captured, and today we're going to be working with the wiggle effect. Now, this is what we're going to be making. As you can see, it's a few parts moving and wiggling at a random in a random way, and it looks kind of cool. Now the trick is to take this and use it on something you want to do. But the wiggle tool is really powerful, and you can use it to make things look a little more real instead of you keyframing each move, because this is random and it is very cool. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a new project. We're going File, New, Project, and we're going to Don't Save. And then we're going to go, I have this layer in Photoshop, and basically what I did was I just took each part and I merged them together, the main parts. So now I have 5 main parts of this little icon logo thing I have made. I'm going to go back to After Effects, and I'm going to double click here to import it. I'm going to import the Photoshop file. Now, really important, when this pop-up screen comes up, make sure you don't click OK when it is on footage, because then it will merge the layers. So what you want to do is go to Composition, Editable Layer Styles, and then click OK. Now it will have made a composition of your Photoshop file. I'll double click on that. I'm going to open the Photoshop file, and then what I'm going to do is take this, I'm going to scale them all down. Now, right now, this composition is at 2000 by 2000. Not the regular format of a video. So what you're going to want to do is make a new comp on 1920 by 1080p or 720p, depending on whatever you want. And you're going to click OK for whatever length you want. 4 seconds is good. Click OK. And then you're going to take your icon, and drag it into that comp. So now it is in a 1080p comp, and you can scale it down to whatever you want, so that when you render it, it doesn't look like a square, but like a normal video. But that doesn't really matter that much. That's for after. Now what you're going to do is go back into your icon comp, or whatever thing you want to wiggle. You're going to select all the layers of the icon. I'm going to search on the effects, wiggle. Now there's wiggle for each different behavior: gelatin, position, rotation, scale, and shear. Right now I'm just going to choose Wiggle-O-Rama for all of these, and I'm going to double click it. And what it has done is it just wiggled all of these in a random movement. But there's something I don't like. I don't like how the front, middle, the words are shaking so much, because that makes it a little harder to read. So the great thing about this effect is that you can select on the layer and you have all these options to change. So what I'm going to do is go in here, and this is the wiggle speed. So it changes the speed of the wiggle. I'm going to lower that to 0.5. The wiggle nervousness, you cannot lower it less than 1. So I'm going to keep it at 1. And then the wiggle position, I'm going to lower it to 10. And that will change how much it changes, how many pixels it changes over the course of each frame. And then this is the speed. And the wiggle rotation, I don't want it to rotate so much, so I'm going to change that to 12. The scale is fine at 15, but if I wanted it to scale more or scale less, I can lower that or raise that. And the wiggle width is at 10%, and that's fine also. So now I have this final product that looks fairly nice, just like how it is. And if I go back into this comp, I can see it when it's in the 1080p. Now you can take this comp, since we have 2 comps, they're all together in here. You can scale this down, and you can put it at the bottom of your screen, let's say, and you have a little wiggling icon back in the bottom of your screen. So when you render this out on your video, it will be there. The wiggle effect is awesome. And basically, if we wanted to look through the different effects, we could go into my Photoshop file, and we'll just take one of the layers, and we're going to make a new comp with it. Now that we've got this, I'm just going to scale it down. And the wiggle, we can go through each different wiggle effect. Now I recommend playing around with each one, and basically they do what they say what the name is. The gelatin makes it look a little bit like gelatin. It wobbles it around. Wobble, 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 wobble. And you have the same controls. Now, with the wiggle effects, you want to make sure that when you delete it, you don't just delete the wiggle effect, or else this will pop up, and you want to delete the transform also. Now it's back to normal. The wiggle rotation does what it does. It rotates it, and you can change the amount it rotates. The wiggle shear does a little bit like gelatin, except a little different. and it just wobbles back and forth, and you can still change the amount and the speed. The wiggle scale does the same thing as everything else except scales it, but if you wanted to scale it not abnormally, you want it to stay uniform, you can click over here, uniform scale, and that will keep it the same shape except it'll just scale up and down. And this could be a cool effect if you want to do a bass or something of something in your video, because you can apply the wiggle effect and bring up the speed and the amount, and it looks a little like a bass. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that's it. The wiggle effect is fairly simple to use, but pretty damn powerful, like everything in After Effects, and you have to learn how to use it and play around with it. Also, please check out my other channel, youtube.com/worldcaptured, and subscribe to that, and subscribe to this channel, because many tutorials coming out. And comment below on if you liked it, if you didn't like it. I read everything, and please give me suggestions for upcoming tutorials and ideas that you want to learn, and I'm happy to do them. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.